guys, I mentioned in my 2015 favorites video that I wanted 2016 to be the year of foundation, that I find one that just works amazingly, that I love. So in pursuit of that goal and that dream, I wanted to do a first impressions today of a new foundation that I picked up. I was curious about this. This is from Lorac. This is their Sheer POREfection Foundation. It's oil-free, paraben-free, fragrance-free. And basically it's described as a really lightweight natural finish foundation, but it's high in pigment, so it's supposed to give decent coverage as well, and that sounds like it's right up my alley. I don't want something that feels heavy, but I want something that is going to cover up spots, it's going to cover up redness, so I wanted to give this a test. And then I have also heard amazing things about the POREfection powder from Lorac, so I decided to pick this up in conjunction with it and try them together today and see how it goes. All right, so I grabbed the shade PS2, and it's light. It's the shade light, basically. There was one shade lighter, and I was considering the shade up from this, the PS3, because it looked a little more like cool tone, and this definitely has a yellow undertone, but I'm hoping that the yellow might actually correct some of my redness. I don't know, we'll see. So this one looked like the best like color match in terms of how light or dark it was. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of this to the back of my hand. I put 2 pumps. I don't know if it's going to be enough or too much or what. And then I'm going to grab a foundation brush. Again, I'm absolutely in love with the Beauty Junkies flat angled kabuki. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to give the brush a little spritz with some setting spray or primer spray. You could even just spray it with like mineral water or something. But I like to do that because I feel like the brush does not absorb as much product then, and it feels nice and cooling on the face. So I'm going to add this all over. And let's see how it goes. Let's see how it blends out. I decided to go with my brush instead of a beauty blender with this as well because it is a sheer foundation and I want to see how much coverage I can get out of it. So I find that I get better coverage, like more full coverage with a brush, and I get more sheer coverage with a beauty blender. Okay, let's see. Color match wise, it is a little bit golden, but I'm not sure if that is really showing up on my skin once it's blended out. I don't know, you tell me what you think. Like, does it look like it's a good color match? I feel like color wise, like, or light to dark wise, I don't know how to say that, that it is a good color match, but I'm feeling like it might be a little bit too golden. I don't know. I'm going to go in with some concealer, and I'm going to take the Naked Skin concealer, and I did find that it doesn't completely cover my blemish. So before I add concealer, let me see if I can build this up at all. I'm just putting a little dot on my fingertip. And rather than buffing it out with a brush, I'm just going to tap it in with my fingertip, kind of like I would with a concealer. Do a little bit on my nose too. There's a little bit of redness there today. It builds for sure, but I'm still not seeing it like cover that spot. I don't know. I don't know if it's giving me enough coverage. I don't want full like cakey looking coverage, but it is evening out my skin tone, so we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and add the concealer now. I have the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Light Warm, and I love this concealer. I've talked about it before. It's definitely a favorite. So I'm just going to blend it out with my fingertip today. Okay. Keep in mind too that I'm not using a primer today, so I just had my moisturizer on, before I applied the foundation and the concealer. So that might affect my first impression, but I am definitely going to keep trying the foundation beyond today just to see if it really works for me. So far, I think the color match is pretty good. It is a little bit yellow, and I'm a little bit more pink, but I don't think it looks too, like, obvious. I don't know. Tell me if you think it does, because I could always try a different shade. I just felt like the one below it was too light. It was for fair skin, and the one above that was more pink, but it was darker, so it's like nothing fits. Okay, here's the powder, and I did get this one in fair. And I'm going to go ahead and use an IT Cosmetics Kabuki to apply this all over my face. Wow, I was not expecting it to kick up that much powder. I was expecting this to be, you know how baked products are domed and they're usually a little bit denser, so you can get away with using a heavier brush in them? That's what I was expecting. So I need to be careful. I don't want to waste this. I'm just going to dab it on. Okay. So I've got some around my eyes where I added that concealer, and then just covering the rest of my face. All right, let's see if the powder is magical. I do feel like the powder is really smoothing. And then, you know, this is all part of the POREfection line, and usually I use a little bit of primer to deal with my pores. So I feel like this has done a good job. Like, it definitely doesn't emphasize my pores. They look pretty well concealed and smooth. I just have to decide if this color match is really good, and we need to see how it wears throughout the day and everything. So awesome. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then I will come right back, and we can take a look at how it all looks together, and then I'll check back in later as well so you can see how it wears throughout the day. All right, I'm back with all of my makeup on, and I feel like the foundation looks good. I don't know that it looks phenomenal for what we're looking at. This is a $34 foundation. You do get 1.2 fluid ounces instead of 1 fluid ounce, so that's good, but you might need a little more of the product to get the kind of coverage you need if you're looking for more of a medium, not light coverage. So give and take there. And then the powder is $33, so you're looking at a practically $70 expense if you get both of these. And for $70, your skin should look incredibly flawless. I mean, incredibly up close in the mirror, totally flawless. I feel like my skin looks good. I feel like it looks really even. It feels really nice. Like, I can't quite feel the product on my skin, and I'm a big fan of that for sure. I'm just not convinced yet that it's better than some of my favorite drugstore foundations. So I'm going to use this a few more times and maybe try it with different primers, different setting powders, and that kind of thing, just to see what I really truly think of it. But as far as today goes, remember, there's no primer underneath this. I did the foundation with a brush, and I added the POREfection powder on top of that. So I will check back in later today and just let you know my thoughts and show you how all of this is wearing on my skin. This is a photograph after 8 hours of wear, and the foundation is practically gone. You guys, it is day 2 of using the Lorac Sheer POREfection Foundation, and today I'm loving it. Like, yesterday, my first impressions, it was really good and nice, but I wasn't sold. I was still feeling like, I don't know, like maybe I could find something pretty similar from the drugstore. It wasn't revolutionary. And today I did some things differently because I always like to test out foundations using like different formulas of primer and different methods of application. So today I used a moisturizing primer. This is the Spackle Hydrating Primer from Laura Geller, and I'm combination skin, so I use that around the perimeter of my face and like under my eyes, cheeks, that kind of thing. And then in my T-zone, I use Paula's Choice Shine Stopper. It's an instant mattifier, and I love this stuff. This is amazing if you have an oily T-zone. But I applied that first, I let it sit for a minute, and then I went ahead and I applied one pump, just one. Yesterday I did like one and a half. One pump of this across my skin, and I used my beauty blender to blend it out, and I love it. I feel like my pores are invisible, and I didn't even use the like silicone kind of pore filler. Just the combination of the hydration, I think, of the primer with this formula of this foundation, I think looks really good. It looks really natural. You can still see my skin, you know, you can still see my little freckles and things like that, but it's medium coverage so that it's covering my spots, it's covering redness, and it just looks really natural. So today I'm loving it. I'm going to keep using it, and I will update you maybe in a favorites video if it ends up being a favorite, or in just a haul update to see how I like it as I continue to use it and try it in different ways. So I'm back again with a check-in on the Lorac POREfection Foundation, and I just wanted to give you an update because I've been wearing this for a week now, and I have all my thoughts together on what I think of the foundation. So it was kind of hit and miss for me. Like day one, I was feeling not so sure. Day two, I was feeling like, yes, this is perfect. It's so lightweight, but it gives okay coverage. And it's been a week now, and I've decided essentially that it isn't great, that it's not really working for my skin. One reason being that it's a little bit too lightweight. I find that about 4 hours into wearing the makeup, it's completely gone, like it's not even on my face anymore, and I get a lot of oil coming through, and I have combination skin, but like when I treat my skin right using primers and powders and things like that, I don't get too oily. And with this one, it was like I was getting more oily than normal, and I really was not liking that. And I think because of that, it was wearing away really quickly. So just for me, for a $34 product, that's not good. I need it to last me all day. I need it to look great all day, or at least beyond 4 hours, and it just wasn't for me. And then another thing about it is I think that this was causing me to break out. I started getting some spots on my forehead, and I don't usually break out on my forehead. I usually get some hormonal acne on my chin. So the only thing I'd really changed about skincare or what was going on my face was this week. So that is the only thing I can attribute it to. And for those reasons, it is going back for me. It's a bummer because there were times when I put it on that I felt like this is so nice and I really like it. But then there were times where it just really wasn't working, or when I looked at it again later in the day where I felt like, where is it? I couldn't even see it anymore. So for me, this one is going back. It did not work for me, and I'm still on the hunt for that Holy Grail foundation. Also, I'm going cruelty free, so that's something new that I'm starting to like think about and incorporate into the products that I'm researching and buying. So if you have any good recommendations of a brand that is cruelty free, who has a foundation that you know works really well for combination skin, let me know because I would love to try it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you found these check-ins helpful and that the progress helped you. Just by the way, I'm not wearing it on my skin today because I did notice those breakouts starting around day 3, so it's gotta go. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye.